Hello, this is Nina from the Happy Hippie. I'm here to do a little tarot reading for you guys today. Sorry about the little sun glare, but the sun is coming through my window right now. I didn't expect that, but here you go. Anyways, let's get into the reading for today. So, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, of course, like always. But if there was something in the title of this video that kind of drew you in, then there is a message here for you. So let us pull some cards today. Let's see what we get. We got the Six of Swords. We got the Queen of Wands. Interesting. And we have the Devil. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, the Devil isn't like the devil like we have been taught. The Devil for me represents very often the ego energy. Very often the energy of disappointment or judgment from others, that kind of energy. Now, the other two cards here are very positive, though. I mean, the Six of Swords is where we are moving away from something that no longer serves us, and we are aiming for better shores. We are going from rough water to still water. We are, in our minds, moving away from maybe overthinking, maybe anxiety, maybe thought processes that hasn't been good for us, because swords is the mental aspect. It is the air element, so it can have to do with overthinking or worrying about something, and now you're moving away from it. So the Queen of Wands is someone who is very intuitive. She's sitting there with a black cat, and the black cat is very often a symbol for connection with your team or with spirit in the tarot deck. So I feel like you might have been moving away from more of a 3D way of thinking into a more 5D way of thinking, moving away from the head, moving into the heart space, trying maybe to move away from rigid thinking, or you have to think inside the box, you can't step outside the box, that kind of thing. You're kind of moving away from that old way of thinking is kind of how I feel. And then, of course, the ego energy shows up. Now, this can be other people's ego, it can be your own ego. And when I talk about ego, I don't mean egocentric. Ego is the representative of the negative Nelly in your mind, the one that kind of lures you down the wrong path or tells you things that are not true, right? So that might be the ego energy of somebody else or you. So for me, then, this is kind of the battle we very often face when we are in a spiritual journey, is that we're kind of leaving behind that indoctrinated way of thinking, what we have been taught by society or maybe by parents or schooling or whatever. And we're trying to break out of that, and we're trying to move away and more into a spiritual way of being, right? And I feel like because the Queen of Wands is here, which is a very spiritual feminine energy, I feel like that's what's been going on, but ego is trying to pull you back all the time. Okay, so I feel like that's what the struggle today is about, or what the energy today is about. So let me just connect a little bit stronger messages from spirit regarding that. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay. So I'm asking them, okay, what can I convey to those watching that will help them to stay in the heart space, move away from the ego energy, kind of continue on that path of leaving the ego behind and finding a more spiritual future. So what they say first is notice the little things. Okay, that was the first thing they said. Notice the little things, meaning stop to smell a flower, stop to listen to the birds. I don't mean stop to stop listening, but stop to listen. So stop what you're doing, open up your senses, right? Look at a flower, look at the coloring, listen. you know, and then you might hear birds, you might hear traffic, you might hear other people talking, you know, be more present in the moment. So that's what they mean when they say notice the little things. What they also mean about notice the little things is also gratitude for what we do have, instead of trying to, you know, run after all the things that we don't have. So what they're saying with that also is, you know, notice what you have and be grateful for the little things too. If you have a roof over your head, if you have food in the refrigerator, if you have somebody that cares for you, you know, then you are kind of rich in this life. You have what you need, right? Instead of going after what society is telling you that you need, like the newest iPhone or so big TV or a new car or a bigger house or whatever it is that society is telling you that you should do. So instead of that, try to narrow it down to, okay, but what makes me truly happy to have? I mean, truly, not just the ego saying, I want a new car. No, what is truly making you happy? Is it maybe spending time together with someone? Time is really precious, you know. Maybe it's just painting. Maybe it's needlework, or maybe it's knitting, or maybe it's making food, you know, really putting your energy and love into the food making. Maybe it's baking for you. It can be many things that you just enjoy doing, or people that you know that you would love to spend more time with. So that's also what they said. Now, what they also said to me now when I asked them was the second thing. You need to set aside time, okay? You need to set aside time during your day to remember who you are and to sink into that part of you that is 5D or 4D or wherever you are, and kind of lean away from that 3D, which is what you do here in the Six of Swords. So you can put a reminder on your phone, you know, maybe twice a day if you're working or whatever, where you say 5 minutes, 5-minute break. And you go where you're secluded, maybe in the bathroom or whatever. I'm sorry. Spirit goes to my throat when they talk to me. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee here. That might be happening to you too, since it's happening to me. If you start sometimes just coughing out of the blue, you don't know what, or you have an irritation in your throat, it might actually be Spirit trying to talk to you, just so you know. Because they will come in on the chakras that are connecting, you know, which is ear chakra. So ear itching can also be, and also throat chakra. Just to have that said. Okay. No, so what they're saying is that you can put an alarm on your phone saying, okay, now it's time for a 5-minute break. And then you sit down and you just totally relax your body and just invite Spirit in. That's all you need to do, and just sit there and just receive, right? So put it on your phone, or put Post-it notes around your house or your workspace or wherever, where you take these little breaks. And when you are doing something, be fully in what you are doing at the moment. Don't try to think about other things while you're doing something else. Multitasking, society is telling you that multitasking is really cool and we're really efficient and blah, blah, blah. And I can tell you, multitasking, it will in the end kill you if you do it too much, because it's just, the mind gets overloaded and the body gets overloaded. So you stop multitasking. Continue to focus on one thing at a time. Be present with what it is that you're doing now, right? So that's another thing that they're saying. So that will help you then also recognize when the ego is kind of being loud with you and telling you stuff. Then you will be able to recognize it, and you will be able to step back and say, okay, ego, I see you. I hear you. I see what you did there. But you know what? I'm choosing another way. I'm choosing to move away from that now. Like the Six of Swords says. I'm choosing to move more into my spiritual being instead of my ego space. I'm not going to listen to this negative Nelly anymore. I'm not going to listen to naysayers anymore. I'm not going to listen to that part of my brain that keeps telling me that I'm not good enough or I can't do this. Or on the other hand, maybe if you're struggling with, like, for instance, addictions or something, then the ego will come in and say, nah, one drink won't hurt you. You know, stuff like that. They will drag you down on a path that's not good for you. Why, you may ask? because ego wants to have control. Ego is taught by society that this is the way it's supposed to be, and it will always try to get you back to that place. Okay? So when we try to break out of that and we try to move into our spiritual journey, ego will fight it. It will fight you, it will fight you, because it needs to have control. So you need to also be willing to let go of that control, meaning let go and let God, right? So this was a lot of talk on just 3 cards, people. But I felt like this was an important message for somebody out there. So there you go, okay? That was the reading for today. Thank you so much for participating. I'm wishing you a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. Till the next time I see you.